Well, looks like the Warlocks are off on a journey to find the lost brewer girl. Join us here on Tomb. That was really bad, man.
Just roll it. Just stop. The moment has passed.
Play the game.
Welcome. It is time once again for Too Many Warlocks. I, as always, am the benevolent Dungeon Master Puck. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. Now then, I am joined today by my wonderful warlocks. These warlocks four, a warlock quartet, if you will. Joining me today in no specific order, Kithri, Tea Leaf, the halfling. Also joining me is the frequently wooden Richard Bennett.
Hello.
Also joining me is the always studious Penn. And here, complete with his incredible mustache, is Guy.
Hello.
When last we left our heroes, they had adopted a young boy who turned out to be a Cambion, of all things, part demon. And he was a brewer who was under attack by a mysterious creature when he and his sister were simply transporting their goods. They adopted this boy and agreed to go look for his sister. Upon finding her finger, things looked pretty grim. But they took him back to the keep and befriended him, and there was some touching moments. Kithri taught him daggers, and there were figurines carved, and everything was very emotional and very nice. I did a very good job. And they did discover that perhaps the people abducting monsters and other strange creatures are an organization known as Splice. And they have journeyed to meet with a contact of Wormspits, known as Ogbok the Manslayer, which is just a name. He's retired now, and you shouldn't hold him to it. So we join our party as they journey along the road towards, I always have trouble with this name pronouncing it, Belaird, the Fresh Prince of Belaird. Okay, anyways, journeying towards Belaird to go meet with Ogbok the Manslayer.
I'm trying very hard not to rap the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song.
Don't even start. we
can't
show's,
start with that.
The show's not long enough. Okay. So it's a fairly uneventful journey. You're moving along. You have to go a bit off the beaten path to rendezvous with Ogbok and his kind of traveling war party, as it has been described to you. So you were given specific instructions to approach cautiously and identify yourselves as friends of Wormspits so that Ogbok's subordinates don't see you as a threat. So I imagine traditional cart positioning is in play.
I'm on the roof.
Yep.
Roped up.
Up front, we likely have Kithri and Penn, and inside we have Guy, possibly drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and then once we get just a short distance away from the keep, I want to spend 10 minutes summoning Mayhem,
Okay.
my unseen servant.
Okay.
And I want to, I say to him, go outside and get the troll head, eh?
Okay.
I'm
He goes outside and he gets the troll head. Do you want him to get the whole pike or just the troll head?
Just the head.
Okay, he gets just the head.
And he brings that back to me, and I say, hold it up like this so I can see it.
Okay.
And I pull out my disguise kit, and I'm going to give it a makeover.
Excellent.
Like bad lipstick and horrible mascara.
Excellent.
And the hair parted in the middle and like little tiny ponytails over each ear, like droopy, sad ponytails.
Oh yeah. No, this is.
And then put it back on the pike, eh?
Okay. You put it
And
back.
then just shake it off, like he needed to do something.
Yeah.
To make up for all the smooshy shit that happened last time.
He's just like, oh, this is so much better. I had to get my fix. All right. Does anybody have?
Who doesn't like a transvestite troll? Eh?
So you have some time.
I'm thinking it takes a little bit away from the strike terror into our enemies bit, but you know.
I think it does exactly the opposite. Eh?
Yeah, it's a whole different kind of warning now.
A troll in lipstick. Eh? That's terrifying. Oh, shit.
Oh,
No, he's gone.
we
away.
lost Guy.
Now
So,
it's just. Oh, you
in
go
the
ahead.
meantime, do you guys want to converse with each other? Or is Guy, I guess, having spent himself on his on his excitement in finally getting some mischief in, everybody is. Yeah, no, we all got shifted, except for me up top.
I'm fine.
But are there any conversations you guys want to have? You got some time on the road.
I guess I'm going to turn to the others and say, we're about to go into a scene where we will most likely at least have to get in one confrontation. Does anyone want to talk any kind of tactics? Does anyone have any ideas for tactics? And I look kind of primarily at Richard being the guardsman that he is, but also at Keith 3 since she is our swordswoman.
Well, Richard and I seem to have kind of the maybe more heavy hitting tactics.
Mm-hmm.
I've also just recently gotten a fun control tactic.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called. I can't say what it's called because I worry it'll summon it, but it rhymes with the harms of Hadar.
Ooh, I love that.
All right.
I too know of that. That is a fun one. All right. So you guys will primarily be our front line then. So I'm guessing.
If I'm not in the thick of it, there's something wrong.
Okay.
And he is a thicket.
Ha ha!
Sorry, it was me.
No, it's okay. I'll laugh for Guy.
All right. So we've got that. And I guess Guy and I'll kind of be in the middle somewhere. I'll either be in the front with y'all or lean back and try to support depending on what happens. If anything happens and one of you is severely harmed, if the other can give me cover, I will try to rush in and patch you up real quick. But other than that, I think we sound pretty solid. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We've also got these burritos, don't forget.
That's true.
Ah, yes.
Travel burritos. All right. So you're beginning to approach the camp now. How do you want to play this out?
Well, we were advised to approach cautiously, so perhaps Guy should not be the one to initiate the conversation.
I'd also argue that I'm not the one to initiate the conversation.
I'm fighting every survival urge to ignore the name Manslayer as the only... Well, Richard, you're human, aren't... as the only, like, definite human here, so I'm just like... But I also feel like, I have to, at least for Wormspit, I have to push through this to better myself as a person. So, I guess...
Shot.
Whenever we get there, I will. Are we rolling up on the camp? Is there anyone out and about?
You're rolling up on it. There are a few scouts running around, an assortment of goblins in various locations.
Perhaps, I don't know if anyone can change their outward appearance. Maybe not appearing as human might be a good way to kind of do the introduction and then be like, oh, hey, by the way, total human.
By the by.
Actually,
Yes.
I do have a wonderful, wonderful ability to change what I look like. Generally, I use it for intimidation purposes, but I could, in theory,
Do the thing.
yeah, do something a bit more majestic looking.
Would we could we take a check to see like if any of us know what is considered like standard for goblin culture as far as like what is respectful and how you present yourself to someone who's like higher ranking than you or something like that?
Sure. Give me a history check. Give me your best goblin history.
All right. Let's see if it rubbed off.
All right. So, I mean, that's not the best number that you could have gotten, but I mean, it is a number. You do recognize that traditionally goblins respect strength. And if you are the strongest, scariest thing around, generally that's who they follow. It's part of what makes Wormspit's troop so unusual, is that there doesn't appear to be a kind of strength-ridden despot leading them. There's just, they're more led by a collection of values.
I'm gonna kind of relay this to them, and I'm gonna kind of clap Richard on the shoulder and push him forward. I was like, "My friend, grab your troll pole. Your day has come."
I think I'm going to leave the troll pole here.
Troll pole. I love that we're calling it the troll pole now. That's my favorite name. Okay. So you're leaving the troll pole behind. How do you want to approach this, Richard?
I'm going to walk in pretty much covered in robes so that no one can see what I look like.
Okay.
And then pretty much wait for something to approach me.
All right. Some goblins kind of approach you. They've got small crossbows, and they have them drawn.
All right. And I'm going to kind of just in a way of going to bring down my hood, at the same time activate one of my lovely pact skills, Fey Presence.
Okay.
Which I accidentally clicked twice.
It's okay.
So now every creature in the 10-foot cube originating from where I'm standing has to make a wisdom saving throw higher than 13.
Okay. These guys are not incredibly wise. And they can't do it. They do not have the capability.
So now each and every single one of them is frightened by the terrifying Trent appearance that I've given to them.
All right. They are running away. They flee back to the camp.
Might have laid it on a bit thick there, Richard. I guess I'm gonna come with them, regardless, just to make sure everything's kosher.
All right.
So I want to make a wisdom saving throw.
Do I need?
You don't differentiate between.
It doesn't.
Oh, so you have to see if you're afraid of them.
It causes each creature in 10-foot cube originating.
It does not matter.
Is it a constant ability, or is it like as if I approach you in this 10-foot cube? Or is it like a one and done?
I think it's like a turn on and off.
Oh, okay.
Kind of a turn on and off.
I'll take
I can only do it per short rest.
Yeah.
Let's see. Am I afraid of? I'm afraid of Richard.
You are terrified of Richard.
I'm just like, I don't want to get in on that. So I'm gonna stay at the cart.
Okay.
Pen, are you not going?
Richard seems different. So I'm gonna stay here.
Well, buddy system. We talked about this before. The buddy system. I'm going to try and follow.
See if you can withstand his horrifying visage. Oh yeah, you're not bothered by this at all. You're like, what's the matter, Pen? Like, geez, it's just Richard. He's like this all the time.
Scurry after him with my short little legs.
Okay, that's perfect. All right, so Pen and Guy stay by the cart, and Richard and Kithri, you guys approach the camp. And when you do approach the camp, a very large, scruffy-looking, fangs bared, and his armor is it's a collection of plate and splint, and he has these massive shoulder plates, and they've got like arrows sticking out of them. And he comes up and he goes, all right. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's a goblin camp. But we're good goblins. We're turning over a new leaf. We're part of a program. It's a lot to explain. What are you here for?
Would you be Ogbog the Manslayer?
Indeed I am. Ogbog the Manslayer.
Wormspit sends his regards.
Oh, you're friends of Wormspit's. Thank goodness. Oh, good. Yes, I get so tired of trying to explain this. And so many people, it's just swords and arrows. Then I start to lose it a little bit, and they say every time you take a step back, you got to take 3 more forward. That's the program. Anyways, I haven't killed a human in 8 days. So, there. Anyways, Worm's been letting me know that we have some business to attend to. Are you everybody?
We have 2 more in our group. They're hanging out at the cart.
Oh, okay. Well, bring them around and come to my war tent. I imagine you guys are here about the people who've been kidnapping my subordinates.
Yes, exactly. I will use... Oh dear. My brain has gone dark. Awakened mind to communicate to Pen. Hey, it's all good. You and Guy can come join us.
Bring the car around.
All right. I guess
And
I'm
going to just kind of drop my Fey presence.
All right. Yeah, he wasn't affected by it.
Yeah, I imagined.
I'm just gonna muster. I'm just gonna have Ben at the car being like, "It's just Richard. It's just Richard," and just like pull it back and be like, "What's wrong with me?"
I love how much things affect Ben. Okay. Anyway, so you pull the cart around and he kind of ushers you guys into his war tent. And it's kind of a simple setup. It has kind of like a straw mat for him to lay on, and a simple wooden table with some crudely scrawled maps on it, and a chest with various weapons, and large morning stars and axes and kind of things. And there is a tapestry that looks like portions of it might be made of the skin of humanoids. Likely an older relic of his. But you know how it is. It's hard to change a life.
Richard remains fairly unaffected by most of it.
No, this is normal. This is Sunday for Richard. Like this is.
You can make books out of it, so I don't have a problem with it.
that's your barometer for what is acceptable. Can this be used to make books? Yeah, that's good. All right, so he leads you like, oh, all right, so got sounds coming through. All right. So I imagine you guys heard people are getting kidnapped. Well, goblins, monsters, if you will.
Are the ones being captured or the ones capturing?
Are being captured. Technically also doing the capturing, if you want to be technical about it.
Do you care to expand on that?
Weird trolls. Sometimes they got wings, but before that, it was just gargoyles.
Oh, we ran into something like that.
Really?
Yes. Yes, it's covered in makeup and hanging. Its head is covered in makeup and hanging off our cart.
Kind of like everything stops for a moment. And he walks out of the tent, peeks out the outside. Nice. He goes, sit down.
I'm going to give Pen a look. Just kind of told you it was awesome.
Who did that?
Well, Richard is partially responsible, and Guy is responsible for.
Guy's just on autopilot.
He's asleep. He's asleep in the cart or something.
That's
a little
usually
bit
for
too
Guy.
much to drink.
No, that's consistent. He says, "You're awesome. You would make an excellent war leader. Just putting that out there. Have you ever considered a career in warlordery?"
I doubt it'd be different from the time I was worshipped, but you know.
It's a little bit different. There's a lot more fighting involved. And you get to make fun decorations like the thing in your cart. But anyways, I digress.
No.
That's my
There was a lot of fighting when I was doing it.
Oh, neat. I kind of want to know more.
People aren't worshipping anymore.
It's always the tricky part. Work-life balance. Anyways, as I was saying, it started out with gargoyles, and then it got those weird trolls. You guys fought one. Looks like you killed it, so you're tough folks. It's good. So, I noticed something out in Bel Air. This guy comes in every couple. Don't I can see you thinking it. This guy comes in every couple days. He flies in on a beautifully decorated palanquin carried by gargoyles. And he goes around meeting with wealthy folks, and then he flies off back in the directions of the mountains in the center of the forest. Sometimes he takes some people with him.
Do you know any other information about this individual? Like your name?
We're not exactly welcome in town, so we haven't been able to see him like up close. We've just been watching from the side because whenever we see goblins or gargoyles start coming in, we're getting a little worried these days. We've lost a lot of good folks.
Okay. Well, do you know if he'll be in town anytime soon? Like, is there a pattern to when he visits?
According to the schedule of his visits, he should be arriving sometime later this evening.
Convenient.
What?
Yeah, it's right on time. It's weird how that came out this way. I thought maybe you guys would have to stick around here and integrate with the tribe. I had a thing planned, but it's fine. We can go right to this.
All right.
No, by all means, let's integrate with the tribe.
Well, I mean, you don't want to miss him. It's going to be a couple of days before he gets back. You know, he probably got other things to do.
Well, we got to get the girl.
I'm very aware. I want to see how far he'll go.
I feel a real battle of wits shaping up here.
Yeah, no, this is ongoing.
Okay, so is there any other information you could think that we would need to know about this individual? Because we intend to put a stop to this in any means by any means possible. So we'll probably go meet with him.
I'm not super tactical, but I might think that he's maybe somebody you could get to make you bring him back to where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be the place to shut this whole thing down.
Fair
But
enough.
hey, if you do it, you are honorary members of the Manslayer tribe. I'm just going to put it out there.
Completely worth it then.
You can all use the honorary title of Manslayer.
There we go.
I'm just going to throw that out there, okay?
All right.
But, so is there any way to identify the goblins that have been captured versus the goblinoids who were doing the captured, so we don't kill any of your comrades?
Well, there weren't much goblinoids doing the capturing. It was mostly trolls and larger beasts.
Oh,
But if you find any guys from my tribe, you'll recognize them. They got a daisy painted on the back of their hands. To show that we're peaceful now. Branding is important.
It's very important.
Super important.
I just very quickly grow a daisy on my hand.
Yeah, it's just like that. Do that, and they'll know you're legit. I
And
like the pike guy.
Pen's just going to be like, you are absolutely right. Branding is super important. And I'm going to reach down in my bag and I'm going to hand him a 20% coupon off your next mugging. I was like, just to help keep the peace, there's a little something to help you
Oh,
out.
I know these guys. They've got good theatrics.
Oh, yeah. Really good business people, too.
They're all presentation, though. A little light on the substance.
Yeah. We got that as well.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you. Is there anything else anyone would like to say to Mr. Manslayer before we go?
Guy, you've been a little quiet.
Uncharacteristically so, I would suggest. Yeah, I feel like I've been unconnected to this whole conversation. It's very weird. I'll have to catch up later. Maybe I watch the replay.
We'll fill you in.
Just tell me the important bit right before I die.
All right. So I guess in that case, then I'm going to thank him and just ask him where the town is that we're headed to, like for general direction.
All right. He points you in the direction of Belaird. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to pronounce it right. And yeah, you guys are. It's a pretty short trip.
Well,
Do
You're
we
yeah.
have
far off
some
from
time
the camp.
do we have some time before the guy comes over?
Well, you don't see the way that Ogbok described it. This is something that you would notice, this particular method of transportation. As you approach the town, you notice that it's not there yet.
Okay. I'm going to take a very short rest to recharge.
To get that very valuable skill that you burned.
All right.
All right.
Can we fill Guy in the meantime?
No, you give him the breakdown.
Guy, the goblinoids are good. They are really PC about everything. This is an issue. There's a dude flying into town held by 4 goblins, and we're going to try gargoyles, not goblins. And we are going to meet with him in an attempt to get him to take us back by whatever means possible, whether that be like, oh, hello, or like, oh, hello, so.
Okay, so we're going that way with some guys. You made a deal. Let's go.
Well, and
Yeah.
they mentioned that he meets with wealthy people. So perhaps we could go that route and try and maybe come across as investors.
Investors in the lab, you mean?
Sure.
Perhaps. He wasn't honestly sure. Ogbok was not. He just said that the man meets with wealthy people and occasionally takes them back. So perhaps either he's looking for scholars or looking for investors, either way.
Or he's selling the product that he make. He make War Machine, right? Out of regular monster.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So my band of war trolls is ready. You can pick it up on Thursday.
Something like
They
that.
have free shipping, but
Well, I mean, only if you're on Prime. Now then, only if you're on Splice Monster Prime. Okay. So as you guys are having that conversation, you hear "Krah!" and this beautifully adorned palanquin being carried by 4 gargoyles comes over the horizon, and there's like fireworks shooting off the top of it, and there's a prestidigitation of lit up sign that says Splice on the side, and it's coming into town.
Well, I got to get me one of those, eh?
I wake up immediately.
Something like that, but with a little more flash. That would be really good, eh?
More flash? More?
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
Oh, always more, eh?
needs a
If you don't
troll
put lots
head.
of flash, they see the back. They didn't need a bad coat of paint, eh?
So it lands outside an inn, and the gargoyles fly off the palanquin and actually land on the various rooftops and just kind of keep watch. A man steps out of the palanquin, full mad scientist, just like long white lab coat, big thick glasses, and he's got a clipboard, and he immediately walks inside the inn.
I'm gonna turn to the others and say, I think I might speak this guy's language. So just saying.
I can probably help back you up if you want some support there.
Okay.
I'll walk over with them, but hide behind the door. Just take out my packed weapon, sharpen it.
Richard, I actually think you might come in handy if you want to join us. But you trust me, right? Like, I look him in the amber eye and I'm like, this is important. You do trust me, right?
Maybe.
We're trustful people.
That's a very long pause, eh?
I will do anything to keep you safe, but I think this might actually benefit us if you can join us.
All right. Things go south.
Of course. All
I will
right.
come with you. I just want to make sure it doesn't say DeLorean on the back of the palanquin, eh?
All right. So I guess we go into the inn.
All right.
This gentleman.
All right, you go inside, and once you go inside, you see that he's sitting at a table at the back of the room, and he's kind of going over a clipboard. and it looks like he's waiting.
Okay. I'm going to approach with the two others, and just say, "Hello, sir. Was that your magnificent beasts outside carrying that beautiful palanquin? I forgot to pronounce it."
It's okay. Yes, it's the corporate conveyance for Splice. It's a fine organization. How can Splice be of service to you, sir?
Sir, I must admit I have traveled far and wide. I had heard that Splice had long since fallen under, so to hear that it is still around, once I heard, I made my way here as quickly as possible. You see, I, too, am a man of the cloth along here with my associate, Mrs. Keithry. We are two traveling scholars, and we just wanted to see if we could be involved in the organization. We actually brought one of our examples of our finer works right here. And I point at Richard.
He kind of, oh my. And he kind of goes up and examines Richard, and he pulls an arm out, and fascinating.
I'm just going to be behind the guy who's doing it, and I'm going to be like, it's okay.
He's just poking at the arm. He's,
Do you want me to talk, or are you wanting me to just grunt?
Did you say that out loud? Or
I'm whispering that to you at the moment.
Oh.
You guys can get on the party line.
I'm just going to be like, it's okay. Just, this is part of the plan. And then if he said that in return, I'd just be like, you don't have to say anything if you want to remain to make it easier, just so he doesn't ask you questions. But it's up to you.
Was this achieved through magic or science, or a mixture of both? Do you have full control of it? Can it grow?
It does. It does grow. Its name is Richard. We have taken much care of it. It was a mixture of nature magic and a bit of science. We managed to connect the woodwork into and integrate to the human limbic system, and I'm just going to lean on all of my knowledgeable bits that Penn has and just throw out as many terms and
I really wanted you to keep going. So you went directly to human experimentation. You are bold, my friend.
Oh, yes, sir. We have no fear here, my associate and I. We wish to push to new horizons, but sadly we have no other associates that think the same way we do.
Well, I assure you, at Splice Labs, we use the utmost discretion. We understand that society is not always prepared for the things that we're capable of doing. So that's why we've used secrecy in our operations, but that doesn't mean there isn't a demand for what we can make.
This is true.
During all this, can I try and sneak a peek at the clipboard?
Absolutely you can. Throw me, what do you want? I'll let you use, I don't know, pick a skill and then sell me on it.
So kind of the nodding and being like, yes, okay, all right. And adding in a few things to Penn and slowly sneaking my way around, I'm pointing out things behind his shoulder, kind of trying to distract him. So I guess deception.
All right. Give me a deception on that. All right, solid deception. You're able to read on the clipboard. And on the clipboard, there are the names of generals. There are names with markings next to them that appear to be of certain mercenary guilds.
Okay.
Just some not great people that this dude has on his list to meet with.
Any chance Team Growl is on there?
Team Growl is not on there. No, they haven't hit the big time, unfortunately.
But our coupons.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is why you guys are helping them out every day.
Okay, so Keith snuck that peek, and
he's looking over Richard, and finally he says, "All right, how much do you want for it?"
Oh, I know, Rich. I can already feel the aura of Richard building, and I'm just going to be like, oh, my dear sir, you must surely understand that is my first successful human experiment. I'm rather fond of it, but he comes with me where I go. So, we were honestly hoping that maybe you could introduce us to the Academy itself. We truly wish to see more of it just so that we can contribute where we may with our talents.
So perhaps think of Richard here as our resume.
I understand completely. You make an excellent point. Very well. I will give you a tour of our facilities, and in exchange, we will be allowed to take some samples from your creation.
Throughout the entirety of this conversation, Richard's packed weapon has just kind of begun to unsheath and resheath. And at the examples, unsheathing slightly again.
And I will be like, surely, sir, after we see your facility, we would be happy to do such. And I'm just going to be mentally soothing Richard the whole time, just be like, we're not going to let him do it. We're going to kill him.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Probably about this time I show up with 6 pints. 1 for each of the 4 of them and 2 for me.
Oh, and who is this fellow? Your bodyguard?
I'm the jester, eh? Woogie woogie.
He's a bit of our odds and ends man, as it were. He helps with the collection process of samples, and he helps us get where we need to go. He kind of is the catch-all be-all for our little traveling band.
Ah, I get you. Someone to get the bodies, huh?
And he's entertaining. That's a bonus.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. Well,
I think that's actually the first time you ever said that to me. Thank you.
Well, I did have a couple meetings to get to tonight, but you've brought me an extraordinary specimen, and I'd like to get him back to the lab. So I will leave a note for my other appointments, and I would love to take you back. The boys at the boys at the deconstruction chamber are just going to love him. Now then, shall we go to my transport?
Of course. I'm just soothing Richard. I'm just like, Richard, I swear, if they try to take you, we'll kill them. I promise. I promise you. I'm not going to let them take you anywhere.
Oh, no. They're not going to kill him. You're not going to kill him.
Oh,
I will mentally say to Richard, Richard, you're our Trojan horse.
Mm-hmm.
And then we attack, but not climbing out of you.
Well, something's going to climb out of me.
Gross. Okay.
Okay, so we're walking
She
out.
was not suggesting you were full of Greeks.
We're walking out as we're doing this.
Yeah.
He's mostly referencing all of his weapons that he's keeping inside of him, his arms.
And did the gentleman leave a note on the table?
He left a note with the bartender.
Okay. I am going to, as we're walking out the door, I'm going to just clap him on the shoulder and say, I have one bit of unfinished business. I need to go take care of our tab. I'll be right back. And then I'm going to presume he's going to walk out without me.
Okay, he goes back. He's so giddy, he can't take his eyes off Richard.
I'm going to, real quick, pull out a piece of paper and on the nearest table, write down something along the lines of, yeah, you know what? We changed our minds. We hate all of you, and come and get us. We're in the Star Mountains, you pansies. And then I'm going to say, oh, my associate meant to hand this as well with that other note. And I'm just going to put that with the bartender.
Excellent. I love every part of that.
And then I'm going to book it out the door because I don't want him alone with Rich. Well, he's not alone, but you know what I mean.
All right. So he leads you inside.
You don't want to leave Richard alone with him.
Yes.
This guy doesn't seem like he's an incredible fighter. So
I'm already imagining how I'm going to kill him.
There's enough room for all of you inside the palanquin, and once you get inside, he produces a small whistle from his coat and blows on it, and then you can feel it start to lift off, and you can hear the wing beats of the gargoyles.
Okay.
As we're lifting off, I would like to use Eldritch Sight
Okay.
to see what magic stuff is around.
All right. He has glowing under his coat a variety of magical items. It's difficult to tell from the glow, but he's got some stuff going on in there.
Okay. Not too surprised.
Wait.
So what you're saying is his head is entirely exposed.
Well, I mean, there's the thick glasses, but
Does Keith, do you relay that dust at all, or is that just a you thing? I just want to make sure I know.
In this case, I won't.
Okay.
Because it seemed pretty. I was just confirming.
Okay.
So when we took off, was there fireworks again?
oh yeah, no, it's still going
that's
off
the
again.
precision
And
effect. Oh, I'm leaning out the window and adding to it. Just. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you
better. That's better. Much better. Eh? More. Eh?
you know a bit of magic as well. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been completely rude. I've been so enthralled with your incredible creation. I am
Oh, thank you. Oh, you
Winthrop.
meant him. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Winthrop Commissar. Dr. Winthrop Commissar. Pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure to be in the company of colleagues as well, Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor. It's strange. No, okay.
Yes, very strange.
And you are? I understand your associate, Miss Kithry, is here. What is your name, sir?
I am Professor Penathan Wright. I work at a prestigious academy somewhere in the South. It hasn't quite gained any notoriety yet, but we're working on it.
I see. And your jester, what is his name?
You can call me Guy. Eh? Easy to remember.
Is Guy. Excellent. Well, I'm sure you will love the facility. We have the finest equipment, and we're really making some incredible strides in Ent DNA.
When you say finest equipment, that wasn't an innuendo, was it? You actually meant like stuff in a lab, right?
Yes, for the most part.
For the most part. Okay, maybe after dinner we talk, eh?
I'm very excited by this creature. It's quite auspicious I'm wearing baggy pants. Now then.
I was really expecting Richard to just wheel around and kill him right there. All right, so woo.
So,
Oh no, I'm not killing him until we get to
till you get to the
the
location.
place, and then it's fair game.
It's fair game time.
It always feels better if you wait. Yeah.
I'm just gonna, while this is happening, in any side moment we have, I'm just gonna, on the party line to everyone in the vicinity, specifically excluding him.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna be like, we got to get in the doors. That's the one thing. Once we get in the doors and we find the girl, we can do whatever we want.
All right.
I'm gonna shove my arm down his throat and make my roots grow.
Just this seething anger in Richard this entire trip.
He's carved 27 things into the inside of his arm, and then I'm going to, and then.
Now then, it's a bit of a trip, and then you finally arrive outside the facility. The curtains open up on the palanquin, and outside there are 10 gargoyles on platforms, and then a massive wood door with steel reinforcements on it. And on both sides of the wooden door, there are what appears to be flesh golems.
That's exactly what I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, they're golems made out of people.
Is it like bits of people, or is it just like it looks like flesh stitched
Frankenstein's monster, but terrifying and more ugly.
It's difficult to know exactly at this distance. But he says, right this way, don't mind the guards. They are some of our earlier creations, but they're fine for these menial duties.
Fascinating. And I'm just gonna continue behind.
Okay.
As we walk past him, I looked him up and down and I said, so you keep the good stuff inside, eh?
Absolutely. These are just guards, showpieces, flamingos for the lawn.
Yeah, it's kind of amateur work, eh? I don't mean to be rude, but
Ah, I can see your jester even has a good eye for work. You are quite the bunch. Yes, these are the flesh golems were all stitched together of various parts from captured monstrous creatures. Didn't exhibit any of their best traits, so we decided that other experimentation was necessary. Anyone can stitch together some flesh and animate it with magic, but it takes a real mind to combine the best elements of magical creatures.
yeah, making them smart enough not to poop on the floor, eh?
Absolutely, although the golems don't defecate, to my knowledge. Anyways, and he leads you in. And you go inside, and it's a nicely appointed foyer, and there's a receptionist. Diane, we have some new initiates. Can I give them the tour? Of course, Dr. Commissar. We will arrange the tour group for you. I'd actually like to take this group personally. I find them to be very interesting. Of course, Dr. Commissar. Would you like some privacy for this, or shall we continue regular operations?
Privacy.
Regular operations should be fine. We're all friends, of course.
I think that means, though, we'll get to see what actually goes on, so...
Now then, the first step
He's
on
got
the
20 seconds to live.
The first step of the tour is a little bit of a presentation. You'll have to bear with me, but of course it's all branding. And he leads you into what is basically like it had theater seatings. It looks like a lecture hall, and there's a small stage. But he says, just sit down. It doesn't take long. It's well worth it. We've been improving the production values. And you'll get to see some examples.
I am going to...
A little theater never hurt anyone.
Tell that to Abraham. I'm going to tell him, I'm going to be like, my friend, I have bad legs. I'm going to remain standing, but I will watch.
Okay. So hard to begin.
As soon as the thing begins, I am going to just grab his head and grow it as much as I can to just encapsulate all of it.
Okay.
And then just begin to squeeze.
All right. As you go to grab his head, the curtains open, and there is another man in a lab coat, and he is standing in front of a clay golem, a stone golem, and a steel golem.
Did you do it, Richard?
I'm just going to keep my hand just a little bit above his head.
Okay. I wanted to give you a moment to pause. And the man says, "These were the magical weapons of the past. Clumsy, large, far too difficult to maintain, control, and create. But that is when the lab technicians of Splice realized something special. There are monsters everywhere." And then the golems walk off, and then out comes a ogre, an ent, and a troll.
Oh, the ent. He's definitely dead now. It's close enough to being one of me.
Sorry, Etten, my mistake. Etten, double-headed, scruffy, giant-like, but not the ent tree person. I get the two confused.
I feel like you did this just to save his life.
No, I meant Etten. Never mind. So
Wait, what is the difference again? I missed that one detail.
So an ent is like a tree folk.
Mm-hmm.
An Etten is a large monstrous creature with two heads. And it's kind of like a two-headed giant. It's just kind of like a messed up giant creature. Usually fairly savage.
Okay.
So he says, the presentation goes on, "Why bother making magical constructs when we can create weapons out of the creatures in our very own backyards?" And then they move along, and then you see another group come out, and it's a collection of the same trolls that you guys saw. Trolls in particular have very interesting physiology. They can change their traits based on the things they consume. Show them what we can do, boys. And the 3 trolls transform. One transforms into a barrel, one transforms into a door, and one turns into a table.
On the party line, I'm going to say maybe we are in a little over our heads for the run in and kill everything strategy, perhaps.
It still has my vote.
As this is going on, I'm going to say at the very least we should disarm and like make sure the 2 professors in the room can't say anything or command these creatures, because I don't know that they will naturally attack us if we choose to attack, but we are welcome to continue waiting and see what comes next. But this may be our best opportunity to take out 2 individuals, maybe take their garb, maybe blend in, but we'll,
we can't kill this one until we find out where the girl is, eh? That's kind of the whole point. We have to get this tour on the road into the dungeon-y part. And as soon as we see the girl, him and me, we do our shit. You guys grab the girl and everybody runs, eh?
Sounds fair.
I am fighting every single instinct to just kill everything.
Look at it this way, big man. If the deeper we go, the more we get to fight on the way out, eh? Come on, Splinter, let's go.
All right, so while you guys go on, he's gone through the presentation. He's done the troll thing. He brings out some ropers that can turn into columns. And he says, these are perfect for home defense, and then keeps on going. And, there are some ogres that have siege weapons strapped to them and kind of molded to their bodies. Excellent beasts of burdens, perfect for long-term attacks. And then it just goes on. And then he says, so as you can see, when you work with Splice, the sky's the limit. And he puts his arms out and 2 trolls grab him and carry him off.
Excuse me, I didn't see any devils or demons, eh? You got any of those?
Yes, I'm particularly interested in the tree demon devil combination.
Yeah, before we give you a dose of the clap, you better impress us more than you already did, eh?
Ha ha! I can see that you are kindred minds. So, I'll show you our R&D division. Now then, so, and he leads you outside of this area and takes you down the halls. And as you go through the halls, there are windowed rooms, and in various windowed rooms, you see certain dissections.
Say dissections?
Dissections.
I was going to say up until this point, I was thinking, the pen was like, man, I'm having a real struggle with morality because these would be really great for the academy. But anyway, but now we're kind of past that. This is getting a little dark even for me.
Yeah, you go into it.
Are there any fairy folk being dissected?
No, you don't see any fairy folk.
Phew.
They're difficult to get a hold of.
Are there any humans being dissected?
No human trials currently. You do see there's a room, and there is a bunch of mimics in cages, and the mimics are being taken out of the cages and fed into a machine that essentially liquefies them, so that they can be then fed to trolls.
Cool, but fucked up.
My theory was right.
Oop, wow, nice.
So he continues on this tour, and you come to a big metal door, and it has a sign on it that says R&D Division, authorized personnel only. He's like, now this isn't normally part of the tour, but I can sense we are kindred spirits. So I just have to show you some things. We have a new subject. It's a half demon. It's a mixture of human and demon physiology. Perfect for the crossbreeding program.
Ooh.
I got to see that. Open the door, eh?
Yeah.
All right. I've built it up far too much already. Then he pushes the door open, and there is a giant lab. There is a bone devil on a concrete slab, and it is cut open, and its barbs have been collected and put in a tray. And in various cages throughout the room, there are a collection of undead, devils, demons of various sizes and varieties. And in a large cage all by herself, you see what appears to be a young woman of about 23 to 26 years old.
First
Hey,
things,
Ben, maybe you close the door, eh?
I'm going to. Did the door swing shut, or is it like an open door?
It closed behind him.
Okay, so we're all in here.
I'm not waiting anymore.
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna know what's happening, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting something in front of the door. Anything, like I'm gonna assume that as soon as I start, he's gonna be like, "What?" and they're gonna be like, "Pop," and it's gonna be over. So I'm just gonna start moving something in front of the door immediately.
All right.
I've already grabbed his head. I'm shoving 2 fingers into his eyes.
All right.
I'm pulling out the ring and trying to get the girl's attention, like holding the ring up in my hand.
All right. She notices the ring and gets kind of excited. And Richard, as you go to grab the guy's head, she shouts, "Look out!" And he ducks, and what you're holding is a mask,
Oh no.
a fleshy mask. And he stands back up. His eyes are completely black. His face is still humanoid, but his mouth is filled with sharp fangs. And he says, "I did lie a little bit. We went to human trials." And then he slips his hands into what appeared to be the bone devil on the table and pulls it on like a suit, and spikes come out all around him.
What?
I guess it's time for a field test. And we'll pause there. And we'll take a break.
This is why you let Richard kill things.
I was hovering over the command button to make him grovel to make it easier for you. So that's how close we got.
No, I had to cutscene it.
Fair
We'll
enough.
take a short break there.
Captain it this time. Will they make it out alive? Will Richard become the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Find out when we come back. In West Neverwinter, born and raised. Let's see how this all plays out. Warlocks!
And I need to improve the intros. Okay, now.
So much.
So, when last we left our heroes, they had infiltrated the laboratories of the organization known as Splice. And they saw many horrific things. And most horrific of all is that Dr. Commissar has led them to this room filled with demons and undead and devils. And, of course, William's sister. And he has revealed that he himself is some kind of monstrous being, and has thrown on what is essentially a bone devil suit and is prepared for combat. Now, we are in initiatives.
Oh, that is terrible.
I swear, you don't roll dice. Flip a coin.
All right, turn down the volume. I can't hear a damn thing. Okay, and
There we go.
much better. Okay.
Hey, you rolled low this time on initiative, Richard, though, which means you'll do really good everywhere else.
Let's hope.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, one of my skills doesn't even need to be rolled for, so I should be good.
Yeah, you should be fine. You just don't roll good initiative. That's your whole thing.
I've been rolling fantastic initiative.
He's been.
Oh, really?
Two times I've been
Yeah,
doing poorly.
Yeah.
Who usually has the shit initiative? Is it Penn?
That would be Penn. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's
I
always
rolled a
gonna
math
fail.
0 last time.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's my mistake. That's my beat. Okay, so this dude goes after Kithri and Guy. So, Kithri, you're up.
I'm going to with my action use Armor of Shadows
Okay,
to cast Mage Armor.
all right.
On myself, and then I will look at Connoisseur and yell out, "We're here to exact revenge!" And I will cast Hex.
Ooh,
Using my
he
bonus.
is hexed.
So where to go?
All right, what are you reducing with your hex?
I will reduce Wisdom.
Wisdom?
Seems like a good.
All right.
Yay.
Oh, I can do so much fun stuff with that.
You hit him right in the wisdom. With that, oh, my wisdom. That's just where I needed it most. Okay. So, all right. So you nail him with the wisdom, and he is seared by your hex. Is that your turn?
And I'll use my
Oh,
movement
you're
to
bonus
try and get as close to the cage with the girl.
All right. So you make a dash for the cage.
Yes,
All right. Did I give her a name last time?
Melissa.
Yes, I did give her a name, Melissa. Okay, there we go.
This is why it pays to have someone who actually knows how to take notes.
Yeah, look, I've been
What a shock! The person who just did a video on how to take good notes. Good notes.
I've been using that video on taking notes to shame people endlessly who don't take notes. Anyways, next up we have Guy.
Oh, the timing it is perfect. Eh? You grovel.
All right.
So
Wisdom
save.
wisdom
at
save.
disadvantage 14.
Oh yes, and he's got reduced wisdom now because of
Yeah, he's at disadvantage.
ooh. Okay, so he'll take disadvantage on that wisdom check. Okay, so he rolled a 20 and a 17.
Oh,
Whoa.
it's okay. This one never worked the first time. I always have to tell them twice.
So, maybe I won't
And I
use those
will,
dice.
I will step in the door slightly to the side to allow the heroic people to rush through, and I will
Alright.
stand there.
All right. So it's his turn now. He goes down like this and does one of these, and wings sprout out of his back, and this tail lurches forward, and the tail comes right for Penn. This stinging, barbed bone devil tail comes towards you.
Buy me dinner first.
And that is a 15 against your AC.
Oh, that hits.
Okay.
It hits all our ACs. We have terrible AC.
Well, he doesn't get quite all the abilities of the Bone Devil in his Bone Devil suit. So everything's just kind of watered down a little bit. But he does hit you for an additional, he hits you for 4 damage and make a Constitution save.
Constitution. Is it enough?
Is that enough? What did you get? 14? Yeah, you're good. So you
Okay.
feel the poison's trying to take effect on you, but it's likely past its expiration date.
I would like to take a reaction to taking that damage, if I may.
Okay.
I am going to kind of take that damage and grimace a little bit, but smile and be like, "You've activated my trap card," and just point. And that is going to be Hellish Rebuke. Now let's see if this does correctly.
Okay. All right. So he's got a dexterity save.
Did I
Or else
roll
he's
it
going to
correct?
be rebuked.
All right, perfect.
He rolled an 18.
So he takes half damage, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
8.
yeah, he's going to take that 5 fire damage. or 8 fire damage. And he follows up his tail sting with a spell. And he conjures a firebolt and throws it at you.
Fire.
But he just does 8 against your AC.
Nope, doesn't hit.
So you're able to dodge that one. And he tries to take a leap backwards using the agility given to him by this suit. Make a disadvantage attack of opportunity as he moves away from you.
All right. Let's see. Well, I mean, I guess this is what I would have at the ready. Oh, those aren't rolls, are they?
Those are rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, those are rolls. They just don't have the damage on it. All right, so you don't hit him. You graze him as he leaps away, and then he kind of gets into position, and the suit kind of bristles. And he's like, "Oh, this thing handles like a dream." And then we go into Richard's turn.
Okay. How far away from me is he?
He has leaped back 15 feet.
Yeah, not gonna help. I'm gonna have to spend my action to take out my packed weapon.
Okay. All right. So just taking out your packed weapon, you're not going to run up on him or anything, or?
No,
Okay.
I don't think that would end super well for me.
Okay. So you're just going to take out your packed weapon. You're like at the ready, and we go to Penn.
Is it me again?
No, you did a reaction. Now it's your turn.
Oh, right. Wow. I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, you did a thing. You did a thing in between rounds.
Okay, so can you remind me, just so I have it in my mind, where are we all in position to
Okay,
the girl and the door and him?
The room is kind of T-shaped. So you're at the entrance of the room. It goes a little bit back in the other direction, and then it has an extension that goes along this way, lined with cages, and at the back of the room is where the girl's cage is. Kithri has gone off to go to the cage. This guy has jumped back from the stone slab, and he's kind of on the other side of it now, facing you guys, and you guys are all by the door over here.
Okay, gotcha. Well then, I guess I'm going to get I'm gonna go ahead and pour my water skin over me while muttering to myself. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna take your accreditation, son. And I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis.
All right.
And is he again, this is the important question. Would I have enough movement to move in his space and like in his range and out of his range?
He is 15 feet away from you. How much movement do you have?
30 feet. So
okay, so you could.
I'm going to run up and brace myself as I take a step back and prepare for what might happen.
All right, he's going to lash out at you with one of his bony claws. And he gets a 14.
That does hit.
Okay. So he tags you with his bone claws.
This is the fatal flaw in your plan.
I just got 10 additional hit points, so like it's fine.
You take 6 damage from his bone claws.
All right, and he takes 10 cold damage if that's applicable.
Okay, he takes 10 cold damage. He doesn't have any resistances.
Cool it.
So, yeah.
And just something I wanted to check. Did Penn just come after me in the initiative order?
Yes.
That should not have happened.
Oh, that didn't. Oh, you know what it is? I put a 0 next to your 1. It should have been the other way around. My bad. I took you as a 10.
Yeah.
Right. We'll fix it next round. All right. Back to the top of the round with Kithri.
So getting to this cage.
You've made it to the cage. Melissa's like, quick, unlock it. I can get us out of here.
Is it like, do I need a key? Is it just like a lock I can undo on my own?
It looks like it's a mechanical lock. She says there's a release up by the dissection table.
I will turn around and run back to the dissection table.
All right. Halflings are very nimble. You can make it back there fairly quickly. Once you make it there, there is there's just a series of buttons on this panel,
I'm
and they are numbered and lettered.
gonna try and make an educated guess on like where in this order I think
Okay.
her cell is.
Okay. Make a investigation check with advantage for halfling luck.
Okay.
Which is a bizarre way to use halfling luck, but you're just naturally lucky. So, all right. So you kind of like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then you just go for it, and you hit one, and her cage slides open.
Huzzah!
Aha. Melissa, this way.
She's like, "Oh, thank God! What happened to William? Is he okay?"
He's fine. I taught him how to use a dagger.
Okay, that's good. She pause for a moment. She's like, "Okay, we can use the gargoyles to escape, but we have to get some control rods."
The whistle? Does she say that to everybody or just
Well, you guys are in a fight, and Kithri and her are over on the other side, so they're just talking to each other.
Okay.
They're having some girl time. This isn't about you. Yes, she says, "I know where they put the control rods. If we get them, we can use the gargoyles to escape."
Awesome. Show me.
All right. So she makes her way to the opposite side of the room where there's a door, and that is the end of the turn, unless you want to do another action.
I'll use Awaken Mind to let the others know about the control rods.
Okay. All right. So then we go into Guy's turn.
My incredibly sensitive mouse just gave away my secret.
Suggestion.
I start walking towards him, and I got no weapon in my hands. I just spread my hands out. "My friend, do you know we have got off to the wrong foot? Maybe," and I cast suggestion, "you take off the suit and we have a talk, eh?"
All right. What does he got? What's his save?
That's another wisdom save at disadvantage.
Wisdom save at disadvantage.
I love hexes.
As of the hexing. And what's he got to hit?
14.
Okay. Okay, well, his low number is 3.
Ooh.
So your suggestion lands. And he says, "Well, perhaps you're right. I think I've gotten a good amount of mileage out of this one." And he slips out of it, and it kind of flops to the floor behind him. And he says, "Now then, have I impressed you all with my laboratory?"
And I turn to Richard and say, "He's all yours."
All right. Now it is his turn, and he is taking his turn to slip out of his suit, do his thing. And we go right into Penn's turn, because I'm going to do things in the right order this time.
I'm really thinking about how Penn would feel, because I as a person don't want to get in a Bone Devil suit, but at the same time,
there's a Bone Devil suit on the floor.
Is it like actual skin?
Yeah, it's made of a Bone Devil.
I'm just going to. It just reminds me too much of William. I can't bring myself to go that far, but I'm definitely going to take this opportunity to do something.
Okay. Something will be done.
Hope.
You have actions. I'm just saying, they're out there.
Can I just move? Can I just take my action? Because I want to let Richard, I feel like I held him off his bloodlust long enough. Can I just take my action to just walk in front and be like, "Oh, I'm going to look at this," and just drag the Bone Devil suit away from him, like about as far as I can go?
Yeah.
Is it heavy? It's a suit.
It's pretty heavy.
Okay.
Bone Devils are quite large.
So do I... Can I move it? And if I can't, I will do what must be done.
Well, make a strength check to see if you can move it.
Okay.
Give me strength athletics.
So that's gonna be I'm like tugging on it, and I can't do it. So can I just?
It's just like he notices a lull in the combat, and Penn just quietly makes his way over to the suit as he's making way to the door, tugs on it a few times, and he's like, "No, it's probably a bad idea."
Oh man. All right. Well.
All right. Well, what else do you want to do about this?
And the next sentence out of your mouth determines your character's future.
I guess I'm just gonna sit on it. I'm just gonna sit on it, so he can't get in it.
Sit on the suit.
Yep. I'm just gonna plop down. I'm just gonna be like, and just like plop down and be like, y'all got it, and I'm just gonna kind of sit back and watch.
Just like that's all right. You sit on it so he can't get back inside.
It's kind of gross, but
yeah, no, it's gooey and it's wet in all the wrong ways. Like it's not. And why is it moist? And parts of it where it touched you, they're beginning to harden. Like it's not good.
It's dry in places it's not supposed to be, and wet in places it shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Might as well get in it now.
And then we go to Richard.
I'm gonna stab him in the face.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably a fair assessment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good swing.
That's the maximum output I can do.
Yeah. So you go for his
Remember,
face.
in the face.
Yeah. No, you're going directly for the face, but with that roll and it not killing him, you don't hit him precisely in the face. But you do get his upper body area, and you nail in your blade. Finally tastes the blood of this scientist for which you have thirsted so much. And he goes, "Oh, but I loved you the most."
Do it again, eh?
I can't. I'm only level 4.
He's like, "You were my favorite." And
I've been waiting to do this.
oh, now we go to the top of the round with Kithri again.
Is my sword still in him, or is it?
Yeah, it's still in him. He's like, "Oh." So you're with Melissa, and Melissa is struggling to open the door, and she's like, I've almost got it.
I'll try and help give a tug on the door.
All right. Give a strength check.
Oh dear. This is not my strong suit.
Ooh.
Oh.
Not your strong suit, indeed.
Well then. So as you're tugging on the door, you start to move it, and Melissa stops for a moment, and she says, "Did William tell you about us?"
Yes. I know what you are, and you make beer and are not fully human.
Okay, that makes this so much easier. And she drops her illusion, and her massive red wings spread out with her tail, and she grabs the door and starts to pull it aside with you. And she does very well in it. And you guys are able to pull the door open, and there's another hallway on the other side. She's like, "This way, there's an equipment room."
I will follow after her
All right.
and awaken mind back to them. I'm going for the rods. Keep him busy.
All right. So now it is Gee's turn.
As I turn to look and watch the two of them run away, and it's like, look at the demon, the Cambion girl, and say, "Oh, she's a little older than I thought." Eh? Oh, wait. Turn around, spin the mace, look at the happy face, and say, "Oh, happy days are here again." And smash it right in the face.
He has the best catchphrase. I don't see any numbers. There we go. All right, those are numbers, and those are numbers that are certainly enough. And he takes that one. He's like, "Oh, this is the worst tour ever." He's covering his face, and he's blood gushing down from it now. And
That's
it
I
is
got no bonus.
his turn. And he says, "I brought you into my lab. I showed you my creations. And in my bone suit. Yet It's really nice. It's brand new. Fine then. And he casts magic missile, and he creates 4 of them, and he sends 2 to Guy and 2 to Richard.
I'm like standing right next to him. If this doesn't hit,
Well, I mean, magic missiles
the
hit
worst.
anyways.
Never. Yeah, this is the only never miss spell in the game,
Yeah.
unless
So-
you have Demon's tiny hut. I think might block it.
Oh yeah, no, my sorcerer back in the day when somebody tried to kill him in secret, he got out of it and he came out. He used every sorcerer point he had and at the highest levels and just magic missiled the dude to death. But anyway, so Guy, you have to take 5 points of force damage as magic missiles pummel you. And Richard, you have to take more than that. You have to take 9 points of force damage as magic missiles pummel you. And that's his go. And as he's kind of slumping over and succumbing to his wounds, he's starting to reach out to a desk.
can I take an attack of opportunity?
Well, you certainly can right after Pen.
Do I see him reaching?
No,
for
I've
this-
ever heard.
What's that?
Do I see him reaching for this desk?
Oh yeah, you're sitting right behind him, so he's reaching for the desk.
Oh, okay. And is there like maybe 5 feet of space between him and the desk?
Not quite. He's kind of right next to it.
Oh, well.
Looks like
I'm
he's
just-
reaching towards a book on the desk.
Ooh. Can I... I see this and I just light up. Can I use... What is it to get up? Is it half your movement?
Yeah.
But I'm right behind him, so I'm going to
Yeah.
get up and I'm going to, as quickly as possible, just run over there and try to grab the book first because it's a book. I want it.
Okay, well, the book, as you reach for it, doesn't come off the table, and in fact, as you pull on it, it actually tilts up to reveal a red button underneath.
Can I slam that shut?
You
Just-
certainly can. Just like on the desk.
And now I'm sitting on the button. Now I'm
I've
sitting
still
on the-
got Armor of Agathis on, so I'm just going to slam that shut and just be like, mm-mm.
It's just like, you're being really immature right now. I want you to know this.
And this is mine, and this is mine.
And it's
really
Richard's
hoping
turn.
that you wouldn't- I was really hoping that you weren't going to go as quickly as possible. Just kind of saunter over. Oh, you're reaching for something. Just like give me like 10 minutes. I'll walk over and stop you.
All right, Richard.
Book.
This is your coup de grace moment.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with another packed short sword attack. I want to use Arms of Hadar, but that's
All right,
there are too many people in the way.
very well. Give me that swing.
Oh no, that's a critical fail.
Ooh, that is a critical fail. That's not quite enough. So, yeah, we go back to the top of the round with Kithri. Kithri, you're down the hall. You were with Melissa. Melissa gets to another door and uses her demonic strength to pull it open. Inside, there are a series of amulets and rods and staffs and wands.
Ooh. Which ones are the rods that we
Look
need to
for
control stuff?
carved stone rods, no longer than a foot, with runes on them. Orange.
I will grab as many of those and also grab as many of everything else.
All right, I want you to give me
take
an
one of those and
investigation
one
check. Give me an investigation check, and that'll tell me how good of things you get out of this.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
shit.
We're rich.
So you won't be able to get it until later, but you acquire 3 of the rods of control for the gargoyles, and she acquires the other one. She says, okay, let's go. There's a window we can get out and call them. And she runs off with you. All right,
Are we running back towards the others or
back towards the
away?
others.
Okay.
All right. And after that, it's Guy's turn.
I look at the mace. That side must be broken. Turn it over to the sad side. Smack him again.
Okay. This poor bastard. You smack him again. You just.
Ugh.
and he's barely hanging on, just blood gushing from his face. He tries to, in his desperation, he tries to move Penn off of the button, but the ice armor of Penn freezes up his arm, and eventually it just consumes his whole body, and he just slumps over a frozen mess.
A passive kill. Love it.
And that's the end of Dr. Commissar.
I'm going to shatter the ice sculpture that is.
He's just like,
No, I'm going to kick him to death.
just slowly, calmly. All right. As you do that, Melissa runs back into the room with Kithri, and she says, "Oh, good, you defeated him. All right. So here, I'm sorry, I never got your names.
I'm Kithri, Tea Leaf. You may know of the Tea Leaf clan.
I don't travel in a lot of social circles. I'm sorry."
Sure. And we are part of the Avalon Knights.
Ah, I see. Well, you've looked after my brother, and for that I'm completely in your debt. And you've rescued me. Okay.
Not quite yet, eh? We're still in here.
Well, Kithri, if you could pass out those rods to everyone.
I'll toss one to each.
There's a window at the end of the hallway just outside the door. And out there, use the rods, configure them until they light up orange, and a gargoyle will come and grab you before you hit the rocks below.
Okay, but you have been in this room for a while, eh?
Yes.
You sort of make any friends in here? And I pointed all the other creatures in the cages.
Not necessarily friends, but they probably should be released.
Are there any goblinoids with daisies on their hands?
Oh, there are. Oh, geez. It's 2 rooms over. There might be guards. Are you up for it?
Richard is going to groan, and just kind of pull his sword out of the dick of a doctor, and just start walking over.
All right. She goes, okay, I might.
We got to have a situation though. If things go bad, we yell something and we run away, eh? Out this window, call the gargoyle and run, eh? I like being a hero, but I don't like being a dead hero.
Renalis.
That is your name? Or her name? His name?
It was my father's name. Not many people know it. It'll make a good word.
I see. Speaking of your father, we have a split second here. What is your family name, eh? I am surprised I have never heard of your ale before this.
Arsharon. If you're a disgraced
to me as a drunk.
You can roll it. Do a history check.
History check. See to see if I remember anything while I was drunk. Nope.
No.
Nope. No clue.
That's a hard no.
I only know cheap beer.
All right. All right. She says, I may have a way to make this easier. And she casts an illusion on herself, and she starts to look like Dr. Holmes.
Ooh.
So let the tour continue, eh? But maybe some of these friends here that we are not taking with us, maybe they need to be fed, eh? And I look at his body.
Perhaps, but some of them might not be as friendly. We should release them as we go.
Oh, perfect. They are the distraction, eh?
Perhaps. I feel for the monstrous creatures, but the undead, I don't think they even have a mind anymore.
All the more malleable.
You leave them alone, eh? We're on a mission.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Just as we're exiting, just as we're about to leave the door, I think Richard is going to shoot the mechanism so that with Eldritch Spear to let them out.
Okay. Do you want to do that now or when you're leaving the lab? because you got to come back this way.
Oh, then as we're leaving the lab.
Okay.
Now.
So she goes, okay, let me see if I can get into character. Right this way.
That's good, but you need about 5% more asshole.
Right this way.
Perfect. Hey,
Right this way. To the specimen cells. I shall take you there.
you know what? Maybe you just walk, eh? Maybe
Oh.
we don't talk at all.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well,
She
the desk in that room, I just realized because I was leaning on it. Did it have any drawers or anything that I could have just real quick opened up?
no, it's like a work table more
Okay.
like.
Then
It does have some journals with some like detailed diagrams of the insides of like creatures.
I'm taking that.
Okay.
Look, it's wrong that they did it, but the knowledge is already there, so I might as well have it.
How we treat knowledge we got after World War II.
Oh, it's not
This
entirely.
isn't me trying to be anything
Yeah.
political. This is
Yeah,
just
this
a
is-
fact.
Yeah,
It's an ugly
these are
fact.
accurate things. All right. So Melissa, in the guise of Dr. Commissar, leads you guys down the hall and comes to a room full of just wall-to-wall cages of smaller creatures. There are goblins and kobolds. There's a deep gnome for some reason. I'm not sure
Oh,
where it
deep
came from,
gnomes.
and he's like, "Hey, come on!"
Is he yelling in Undercommon or? Common?
Yeah, he occasionally spouts a series of profanities in Undercommon.
Whenever he spouts that series of profanities in Undercommon, I'm going to give him the dirtiest of looks I can possibly do.
Just like glare. All right, so Melissa, getting into characters, there are two people inside, kind of caretaking these cages, and I am giving a tour. Please give me and my friends some privacy here. They're like, you okay, Dr. Commissar? Acting a little funny.
He breathed something in that last room. Eh? He's not quite there. I'm sure it will wear off. We get him some fresh air in here, eh?
Oh, Dr. Commissar, have you been playing with the experimental gases and potions again? Yes, you know me. I love that stuff. Classic Dr. Commissar. So they're like, okay, well. All right. And they kind of reluctantly leave the room, and then they stop for a second. They're like, Doc, remember not to drink the black potions, okay? That's the really bad stuff. No, of course. And then they leave. So
Drop my voice a little bit. I just realized something horrible. Eh? We can't save any of these people. All we can do is let them all go and try and fight their own way out. Eh? There's not enough rods.
But that's at least a fighting chance. Better to escape and fight another day than be locked in a cage.
Or
I think the same thing. I just I just wanted to be clear. Eh?
and I turn to them and I'm like, or we could always stage the equivalent of a prison riot and lead the charge and burn the whole place to the ground.
the deep gnome goes, I like the way you think.
He gets it.
I know a thing or two about tunnels. You guys saw the presentation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Hard to forget.
I know where to get the control books for those golems.
Ooh, I like him. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead. Well, as I'm hearing this, can I do an insight check on him?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to. Where is that? Boop. Ooh, nice.
All right. Yeah, he's legit.
All right. I'm already over there trying to get him out because I'm like, he gets it. He knows. He gnomes.
Well, you guys, you don't need us for that, eh? You guys start the riot yourselves, eh? It take you a
Name's-
couple of minutes to get in the other room.
Name's Whistle Whip Dark Tunnel.
I probably won't remember that, eh?
Hey, Ben,
Mm.
maybe card.
Ah, yes, of course. My dear friend, if you ever, well, when you get out, because you will, here is, and I pull out, look us up at the Avalon Knights Academy. If you need somewhere to take all of these creatures, we have a safe haven, and we are always looking for new companions to help fight the good fight, as it were.
He looks at the card. You guys need an alchemist?
Do we ever?
Yeah, I was getting some supplies from the forest, stuff you can get in the Underdark.
Mhm.
And that's where they picked me up. Hey, look, pal, you live where you live.
Where do you think I was born?
Yeesh. Well, that explains the disposition. All right, so
Born? I assumed you grew from a seed. Eh?
it's like being born.
Who came first, the Richard or the tree?
Oh, Richard.
I have no idea.
It was added afterwards.
All right.
Very painfully afterwards.
So I can make these golems go berserk, and it'll make a pretty good distraction for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But I need somebody who's good with the arcane.
Is there any fanfare? I wish we had a bard, damn. But we need a little moment of just da-da-da, because it's us. We're 4 traveling warlocks.
All right, who's got the highest arcane skill?
Ooh, good question. Mine's a +4.
I ain't even handying up to this table.
No, there's no
No.
point in me mentioning it.
Okay, so it looks like +4, it's all pen.
I got this. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I've seen a lot of interesting and terrible things today, but
Lots of dead stuff. You're physically and emotionally excited. I understand.
It's like, all right. So he gets down from his cage that you've opened up for him. He says, see what you can do about my friends in here.
of course.
And then he moves one of the empty cages out of the way, and there's a small tunnel.
Look at this dude.
I'll start doing my best to unlock the rest of the cages.
All right.
Yeah, look for the
This one's a bit simpler. It doesn't have a control station on this one. It's all just kind of like simple locks on these, but you feel like a good swing with duelist's friend, duelist companion is going to take care of these.
Actually, can I try something?
Sure.
Just going to put my hand on a lock and let the roots grow inside.
Just like grow around it.
Destroy the mechanism.
Yeah, you could do that, but it's like one at a time. You might need some help.
I can do 2 at a time. as long as
What I'm
put
saying
my
is
hand
that this
on
can
my
be a
foot.
3-person job.
Yeah,
This can be-
perfect. And our legendary leader can go crawl in a hole with a dark gnome.
He's like, you sure you're going to fit?
I'm not sure. Will I fit? Do I fit?
Is there somebody you can send, like a stand-in or anything like that?
I turned to Kithri.
Just come right out and say it. You're a sizist, eh? I understand.
Hey, there are times where it's handy to be tall, but also times where it's handy to be small. That's something my grandfather always used to say.
What does your grandfather not say?
Very few things.
Seem
I
like a
guess-
really wise man, eh?
Okay, those guys are going to be back yet, and this is
Yeah,
really
no kidding.
nice,
Let's
but
go.
I want to go in the tunnel.
Popping locks, yeah. And that was not an 80s dance move reference. It
Yeah,
was totally accidental.
All right, so Kithri, are you following him in?
Yes.
Okay, so he gets to the end of the tunnel and he moves what appears to be a sandbag out of the way. And you are behind the scenes of the presentation. So there is a stage with curtains drawn. The scientist guy's having a cigarette. And he's talking with the ogre and the Yetin. He's like, you guys are a little late on your cues. And I don't want to have to tell you again, but this enough is enough. All right. I know we don't pay you, but gotta bring it up. You gotta sell it. Give me a stealth check. All right. So they're not really good with seeing. So your new friend kind of motions you over. He says, "Okay, this way. They're on a table over here." And he takes you over to a table with a stone tome, another tome that's like covered in dirt and earth and clay, and then a tome with a steel cover. It says, "These are the control books, all the manuals. We make the stone ones all the time in the Underdark. We got a whole city devoted to it. But there's always something on the back page that removes all restrictions, makes me nuts. It's a fail-safe."
That's a fail-safe.
That's what I was thinking.
That's a fail-safe. Look, that's what passes for a fail-safe in the Underdark.
That's a back door, maybe?
Yeah.
You haven't been to the Underdark.
All right.
That's what passes for a fail-safe in the Underdark. It's a complicated place. We'll go there
Very
eventually.
complicated.
Richard will love it.
No! Oh, God.
Driders everywhere. Okay.
Richard is going to be just cutting through people.
All right, so he
So
says,
pissed.
"Okay, you gotta pick a book. I'm gonna do the stone one, because that's my expertise."
I'll take the steel one.
Okay. And he shows you where to find the page. Now, do an Arcana check to see if you can manipulate the page in the proper way to make the golem go berserk.
Make us proud.
Can I use halfling luck on this? Or
Was it a 0 or was it?
slow?
It was
It was a 6. Yeah, generally halfling luck lets you re-roll on a 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
I used it as a random selection thing, so I'll
Gotcha.
occasionally use halfling luck as a fun DM trick, but for this one, because you were working on something. Okay, so he does okay in his, and he's like, "Okay, any minute now. How'd you get along?"
Not so great.
"Okay, I'm gonna help you out," and he gives you an assist to try one more time with advantage. Okay, you do quite a bit better this time. And he says, "Okay, we gotta get back in the tunnel. It's all shit about to break loose." And he skitters off. Do another stealth check to get past this guy. All right, you're good. He doesn't notice you. He's not paying very close attention because he's berating his stage mates. And as you guys are going in, you hear the stomping and clattering of stones and the whirring of gears. And it's like, oh, those things are acting weird. Holy shit! There's just the rattling and the building is starting to shake. And all these sirens are now going off all over the place. So the building is shaking and rattling with each move and each step. And you guys make it back into the room.
Look at Penn. Here we go again, eh?
And Whistlewhip is like, "Mission accomplished."
Did we get all the cages open?
Yeah, you guys had enough time, and there's like a collection of goblins and kobolds and everything. The goblins aren't attacking you, so the kobolds aren't either.
Okay. Would I have had enough time in that time to look on the table and see if there were any of the black potions they were talking about real quick?
Not in this room.
Okay. Never
But
mind.
Kithri, if you go through the stuff you got,
I will go through that when there aren't a lot of alarms going off.
yeah, no, there's a ton of alarms right now. Lilith is like, "Okay, everybody's free. We should probably go."
All right. I'm just going to like raise up my arcane focus and just be like, "To freedom!" and just bust out the door.
All
And,
right, you and this group of like small minor creatures are rolling down the hallway, and you make your way back fairly quickly to the room where you had killed Dr. Commissar, and you're moving past the panel that releases all the demons and the devils and the undead.
All right. This is going to be a long shot. but can I try a group charisma for the same concept?
And rather than that, I want you to roll a perception check for me.
Okay. That's not a good sign, but...
All right. So you notice it. In a very small cage in this area, there is a severed, what appears to be human hand that is animated and crawling around inside.
I see it, and I immediately be like, it's like, all right, and it's like, whoop, and so I just immediately go over and is it locked? Is it?
It's in like a little hamster cage, like you could carry it around.
Carry that, picking it up. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, so
I'm trying to figure out how all the gates open, and I want to wait till everybody else is out the window and then just hit the master button and bolt.
Actually,
what do you guys want to do? Yeah.
I'm going to, Guy, I'm going to try and switch roles with you.
All right.
Okay.
So I can do Fey Presence
so they want to
and make them just fearful of me or
Okay.
charmed by me.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? You're much scarier than I am. I will be the brave one who go out the window first then.
Okay.
I'm going to stay with Richard as pushing everybody else out and like holding on to my severed hand. And I'll be prepared to try something else as well before everything hits the fan.
All right. Is anybody else going out the window?
I am going out the window with Guy.
All right.
We shall be brave and jump out the window together.
So Melissa goes with you too. What do you guys do to open the doors? Just gonna hammer your hand on the pad?
Can I quickly investigate the big red button?
Sure.
No, that's not-
You assume it's likely an alarm.
Okay. So definitely not using that.
Yeah, those are already going off. Occasionally, every now and then, an explosion rocks the building.
Yeah. I'm just going to pretty much hammer the pad.
Okay. You hammer the pad. Some of the demons and devils are affected by your ability. Some are not. None of the undead are. And a collection of zombies and some ghosts and some skeletons are all kind of moving towards you now.
I'm going to... Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pen.
Yep.
Almost kind of like scruff of the neck, seat of the pants.
Yep.
And I'm just going to run out the window.
Okay.
Can I yell something as we're going out the window?
Sure.
In Abyssal, because I know that, I'm just going to be like, be free, children, as I'm being hoisted out of the window.
Like a true liberator. So Melissa doesn't take a control rod. She actually just spreads her wings and flies alongside you guys. Now, I want everyone to make an Arcana check to adjust their control rod to call a gargoyle to save them.
As we're falling out the window.
Oh, thank God, it's not terrible.
You're pretty rock thing. You're pretty rock thing.
Okay. So you're all frantically adjusting these rods, and you managed to all do it okay. Anybody who got less than 10 was going to have a bad time. So you all just barely got it.
Guy was this close to the ground.
I'm a little bit colorblind. That was difficult.
So these gargoyles come and swoop underneath you, and they kind of float underneath you until they match your velocity and kind of catch you. As they do, the rods you're holding are magnetically pulled into the backs of their neck and to then sink in until they're flush.
Woo.
I've never flown before, so I assume my natural reaction would be to go, oh, shit, and grab the legs.
All right. Well, you're kind of on their backs, so you can like grab the shoulders and like hug the neck if you want.
Yeah, this is not a moment for grace, dignity, or respect. I'm just shit scared of flying.
All right. Melissa is flying along
Flying
next to you guys.
Yeah,
And,
I don't think Richard is doing this very well either.
all right. How does
He's a
Richard
tree.
respond to flying on this gargoyle?
He's just going to kind of like wrap his arm around the neck.
Okay.
Not in I'm strangling you, just kind of an
Don't drop me, please.
don't drop me. I'm going to have to ungrow this afterwards.
Okay. Excellent. And how are the rest of you dealing with this?
Kithri has like white knuckled holding on, but at the same time is going, this is so much fun!
So you guys glide out with these gargoyles, and you're able to ride them away. And as you look back, you can see a creature's head break through the roof of this thing. And this creature is easily 20 feet tall. And it appears to be put together from various other giant creatures.
I'm putting the spurs to this gargoyle. Yeah,
How far are we at this point from it?
You're getting further and further away. You kind of the opening of the building is kind of where you came in at, and then towards the back of this facility is where you're coming out at and flying back around. Melissa says, "Just tuck them in whatever direction. Where are you guys? Where are we going?"
To home.
Well, we got to get the cart.
Actual direction.
What's the town we came from?
Belaird.
There,
Belaird. Oh wait, another question. What happened to all the little creatures that were following us?
They continued down the hall after you guys bounced out the window to go find their own escape routes.
Oh shoot. Well, oh man,
That's all we could do for them, eh?
But some of those were Ogsbox people. We were supposed to make sure they got out.
We did our best. Eh? What are we going to do? Try and find 500 rod and try and teach a goblin to make the rod orange?
I guess
they are goblin. They will fight or they will die. Many of them will get back. As you know, goblin, as long as 2 of them get back, there will be 1 million in a year anyway.
That is
not wrong.
And we can tell him that we set them free.
Yeah.
We did set them free. What they did themselves from that point on is not really up to us. Eh?
Guy, your prejudgment saddens me.
But and plus, Whistle Whip had conferred to you that he was going to take care of them. And he seemed quite resourceful.
I'm just going to have like
the boss, eh?
A happy tear from my eye, just be like,
go, little guy.
So I guess we need to try to get back to the town we were in, wherever that was. I forget.
All right. So, Melissa, after you tell Melissa that you're going to Belaird, she kind of leads you guys in the direction that you need to go to. And she flies down, and it's getting close to nighttime now. And she lands you next to the cart. The gargoyles, after you land, each perch on a different awning on the cart, and the cart visibly settles a bit from the weight. And they just sit there waiting your next commands.
Are we gonna get gargoyles to fly us home?
No, I think we keep them where they are, eh? But I got to go get my lipstick.
So in this world, just out of game for a second, gargoyles are creatures or are they constructs?
They fall in the line in between. It depends on how they were created.
Okay.
These ones appear to respond much in the same way as constructs. Being a studious scholar that you are, you've heard of gargoyles being animated in a number of different ways as kind of centuries or as full-on creatures that just live and feed in the world.
Oh, that's awesome. We have gargoyles now. All right, so we're here.
Yeah. Melissa kind of lands and she returns back to her humanish form. She has kind of long auburn hair, and she's always wearing an apron, and she has kind of a plaid shirt underneath the apron and some long pants.
Okay. Whew.
And she's missing one finger.
Oh yeah. Do we still have that? No, we don't. What's his name has that? Calazar.
Calazar does.
Yes.
Calazar has it for reasons.
We do have the ring though.
I will take out the ring and hand it over to her. I believe this belongs to you.
Thank you. It's like, I hope that grows back. Then she puts it on another finger.
Your brother, he is safe, and I am happy to say also he is gainfully employed. Eh?
Really?
Yeah, we found his skill with the liquid beverage, eh? And he said you were the one with the real talent. He was very honest. Eh?
Oh, he's sweet.
But we are, as my friend Keitri here said, we are from the Avalon Academy, eh? And we would be very happy if you would come and work for us as well. Eh? Anybody who make the beer as good as you, we're not going to let you get away without a fight.
Well, you guys knew about us and looked after my brother and came to save me anyways. You've already been nicer to anybody that's ever known us in any town or village.
Well, one more thing, when you are at our keep, you don't have to look like this. You
Really?
can look like you. Your brother, he walks around looking like himself, and you know what he look like.
What kind of place is this?
A collection of misfits.
And mercenaries.
And madness.
An academy of sorts.
I love the way that you each said like a different description. That was a beautiful moment. Okay. She's like, wow, well, maybe we do have a home there.
Well, it's nighttime. We got to have a rest now anyway, so maybe you think overnight, and in the morning we take you to your brother and you decide what you're going to do,
Yeah.
If that's okay with the rest of you,
Absolutely. Let's take a rest. It was quite an ordeal being locked up in that place. I saw some things I kind of want to forget.
I'm
Not surprised,
Before we rest, I'm going to pull out all of the extra stuff that I found.
All right.
So I got this stuff too.
Do.
Holy shit, look at all of that.
Ever since we got out, even when we were on the gargoyle, like I was holding on, but like I'm handy. I'm holding on to handy so hard. I'm just like, this is mine.
Oh, he's already got a name.
It's occasionally like tapping on the bottom of the cage.
If you shake it really hard, it just gives you the finger.
Yeah. I thought you'd like that pen. That was for you.
Yeah.
That was
a real pen thing for sure.
Can I put rings on him? Oh, we'll figure that out later.
There's so many things. This hand represents limitless hand-based potential.
It'll certainly come in handy.
Ah,
Oh, the endless.
Thank you.
exactly that. All right.
He only puts those in so he knows where to edit.
Yeah, this is perfect. Just those moments, right? Okay, so in the collection of items that you've found, a couple different things. There is a staff of the adder. Looks the staff itself looks like a snake. There is also a staff of the python, so you get 2 snake staffs. And then
2 wooden things. Richard will be happy.
you were lucky enough that one of them is a staff of healing.
Oh, that's going to be ever so useful in a party full of warlocks.
Oh, yes.
I wonder if I would be able to use that. I don't know. I know how to heal, but
Any staff, Richard would probably immediately try to integrate into his being.
Richard just grabbing them all. It's like, whoa, Richard, wait.
Just like, hang on now.
I got a snake staff. I got a snake staff. I got a healy staff.
You got a wand of magic missile.
Ooh.
Very nice.
And a wand of web.
Fancy. Are we in the cart, like at a table, or? Are we
Well, I imagine you guys are around the cart in whatever kind of camp orientation you guys set up. At this point, you likely have like a setup when you're camped out at your cart.
I'll have something set up while you guys are going through.
Yeah, the prizes.
The carts are in a circle, but there's only one cart, so you can't actually tell.
Yeah, right. It's got gargoyles all over it, so that's cool.
Yeah, nobody's messing with this cart. This is a nasty looking cart now.
Yeah, no, it's
Rotting troll head, 4 gargoyles.
pretty mean.
Team Growl.
Team Growl. And there is 3 vials of thick black liquid.
That will be useful if that alchemist ever makes his way to us.
And Melissa actually looks at those vials and she says, "Don't ever drink those."
What's in them?
Yeah, why?
I watched them test it. They wanted to see what happened when it was used on a hulking creature.
And
They gave it to an ogre. It grew and grew, and the skin on its body began to crack and separate because it couldn't keep up with the growth. You could see its muscles desperately trying to stitch the body back together over and over again. It became so just completely enraged and strong they could barely control it. It destroyed the entire East Wing.
so it's steroids. I understand.
Well, then the thing's heart exploded and it died.
Like I said.
Yeah, Richard is going to grab one of these.
I was gonna say, I wonder if he
He's
can
No,
use
did I?
plants.
No.
Decent chunk out of wood, anyways. A lot of his internal organs are some kind of plant life.
Right.
I'm
And
good.
even when big, massive physical damage happens, wood starts to try and stitch him back up.
She says, just be careful. If it's good if you're in a desperate situation, but it's kind of a one-hit wonder. I've never seen anybody take it and survive.
To be technical, that's a 0-hit wonder.
Yeah.
It's a going out in style kind of.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
That is
look
why
at the
Richard
others.
is taking one.
I'm gonna look at the others and look at this what we've got going on, and I'm just gonna say, okay, well, we know we need to rest. Unless anyone, feels like they definitely need anything out of this, I say we hold off on divvying everything up and let Key 3 hold on to it until we get back to the academy or some other time, because it's been a long day and this girl needs some rest. So we can either stay here at this tavern and whatever, or we can go back and stay with Ogbach, which I think would be also nice because we can give him the news. So I will leave that up to y'all to decide as well.
I think
I'm already
maybe
halfway to the tavern.
maybe stay with Ogbach. I would hate to run into clients of
Oh,
Ansar and
Ogbach does
happy.
have an army. It's an army of goblins, but it's an army.
at the mention of that, I'm gonna be like, I'll be right back, and I'm going to step inside real quick and just
Okay.
see if I see anybody just real quick that looks pissed off. And
There are a lot of shady looking characters in here. In fact, do a perception check.
oh boy, am I about to get decked for no reason? Perception.
Yeah, you don't know what organizations these people are from, but you do not like them.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm just gonna nopity nope out the door. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
like,
that's probably a good call.
Yeah,
So-
I do also agree with the Akbar. I said his name wrong.
Ogbach, the manslayer.
Yeah,
We're manslayers now. We slayed men. We get
And I
to
could
slayed
say an
something.
equal opportunity slayer.
That's true. We have to be PC slayers. Okay,
but still,
so
guy thinks I'm awesome. We should all go.
and I'll look at Guy and say he probably has some pretty good brew as well.
Well, okay, just let me finish this one.
Glug.
I was only looking for beer. I had no notice that this bar is full of low life.
Yeah, I imagine Guy doesn't like recognize faces until he's paying
It's
attention.
it's like 15 hours since he had a beer. This is ridiculous.
A world of shadows.
His world is very small. It's exactly 1 pint large.
Yeah.
But as soon as he said they've got beer too, is okay,
All right.
we go.
Down goes the beer. All right. So yeah, you guys can take the cart and go back to Ogbach, the Manslayer's camp. You go back. He's like, "You survived. And it looks like you got some goblins too, or some gargoyles. We're always mixing those two up. I think it's a vocal thing. Anyways.
We made it out alive.
And hopefully some of your goblin friends will be arriving soon. We set them free.
Ah, well, a little while back, a deep gnome showed up with a bunch of different folks.
Whistle Lip?
Yeah, Whistlewhip. He's inside having a drink.
That guy is fast.
Guess where I'm going?
Excellent.
You go inside. It's not tasty, but it's strong.
This will do.
Richard's definitely on
Whistlewhip's like, boy, you guys sure know how to throw a prison riot.
Don't we ever?
I got out pretty quick because I know how to find the back doors.
Sir, do you have anywhere you need to be? Because we would be happy to let you accompany us back to the academy. Someone of your skill set would be much appreciated there, and I promise you it's a place for one and for all.
Well, it's been about 48 hours since I've been back to my alchemy shop in the Underdark, so it's either conquered by drow or smashed by demons.
It's conquered by drow.
You're not wrong. Maybe something above ground's more suited to me.
Yeah,
But I get a shady spot, right?
Of course. We can make anything happen for anyone.
Oh, that's it's quite the promise you're throwing around. All right.
You do right by us, you get the ultimate room, eh? You will never want to leave it.
I like the sounds of that. Okay.
So in your case, I suspect you probably blow it up 4 or 5 times a day, but I think he'd take care of that anyway.
Like I barely do explosives anymore, by commission only.
Well,
But,
knowing this group, we might be commissioned.
Hey, you know, I can work out the alchemist fire every now and then. I got some good stuff. But yeah, maybe I'll take a look at what you guys got.
And at this, I'm just going to plop Handy up on the bar or whatever and just being like, oh, you're so cute. Ah.
Rattles the cage a little bit.
Ooh, feisty. Do you eat? I guess not. I don't know.
No, it's like.
Oh, hey,
So, Ken?
back. Oh, go ahead.
You have an interest in the undead?
Of course, it's super fascinating. I am a scholar after all, and what's more interesting than being brought back from death itself?
I don't know. I can think of a few things.
Yeah.
He looks at his own arm.
Don't get me wrong, Richard, you are quite interesting, but I've always had a slight fascination with this kind of study. I don't remember what I used to do, but ever since I came to, I just remembered I used to study a lot. I don't know if I ever worked with any necromancers ever, but I was always interested since then whenever I saw an undead, because the untapped potential. I mean, yes, you have to be careful. Morality and such, it's important. You know, I don't want to cause anyone undue pain or harm, but at the same time, if they can't feel pain or harm, and he just kind of trails off.
So now you have a pet hand?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call him Handy. I don't know exactly what he is or how he works, but I'm sure I'll be able to work it out once I get home to my books. I couldn't just leave him there.
I guess that's fair.
He couldn't survive in this big tough world alone, one hand alone. He's cute.
Teach him to play piano. That's my 2 cents.
I'm thinking of all the fun things I can do with Mage Hand with him, just the two carrying him around.
What is the sound of one hand clapping?
Hey, back. You got a pretty big camp here. You got a brothel here?
Probably not one you're gonna be into, I'll be honest.
Why, it's for goblin normally? It's racist, eh?
Look, bugbear women are not easy to handle.
Who said I only wanted the woman, eh? About the bugbear woman and the goblin man, eh?
All right, buddy.
I see you guys in the morning.
Look, if you want to roll with some strange, I can hook you up. It's my camp after all. All right.
Guys in the morning. Bye-bye.
Let's go.
Grab my last beer, and I'm following him.
Okay.
How much damage does Guy take over?
And that's how Guy caught goblin herpes.
You have no idea how long I've been waiting to say it. Burn one IP.
Okay, no, but Guy, if you're going to spend the night with these people, you do have to make a Constitution save.
That's very average.
It's fairly average. All right, you don't endure any long-term injuries, but you are sore in the morning.
I will pay them a little extra to say that I gave as good as I got.
Okay.
Oh my god, I love
Going to be a legend one way or the other. And I go back to join these guys in the morning.
Perfect. All right, what does everybody else do in their night of revelry with the goblin troop?
I don't know. I don't want to let go of Handy. I'm so scared. He's so precious to me. So I guess I'm just.
What if he escapes? He'll be lost and cold and afraid. He needs a glove.
I'm just going to keep him, on me at all times. Maybe it depends. If the cage is only like this big, then I'm just gonna attach it on my belt or whatever. It's like
you could put it on your belt. It is. Yeah, it's like a small hamster cage, is what it is.
Okay, then I'm just gonna be like, hey, watch where you're grabbing, and just keep him back there.
It occasionally pokes you to get your attention.
Other than that, though, I'm just gonna talk to Ogbok, just between Ogbok and the Deep Gnome, but I've already talked to him, so I'm just gonna be like, so we have officially earned the title of Manslayer. Yes. Yep,
you're Manslayers as far as I'm concerned.
And I get that in writing, and I hand him some paper and a pen.
Oh boy.
Richard is just going to silently add Manslayer to his list of titles.
What do you think I'm doing?
Oh boy. All right. So he does his best, but he is a bugbear. So
I'll take it.
You kind of make it out to say Manslayer. It's clear that
Wormspit's
been giving him some lessons. Yeah, the S is backwards, and it's like it's all. But he accomplishes somewhat legibly your title on the page.
I'm going to thank him and stick that in our portfolio.
All right.
And yeah, I think that's going to be the gist of it for me, other than Handy and whatever.
All right. Does anybody else want to do anything with the night? Melissa is taking a sip from a large mug of ale, and occasionally she pulls out some things from her pockets in her belt and adds it to it, and stirs it around, and then takes another sip.
I think I'll sit and chat with Melissa for the night.
All right.
I will try and every now and then bring up oh yes, the Tea Leaf Clan. I'm sure you've heard of us.
just going around. Occasionally some goblins and kobolds act like they perhaps know, but you're uncertain. You think they might be disingenuous.
This is one question I've had. I do have the folk hero background.
Okay.
Does anyone know of the Warlock of Green, or is that just a...
This is probably the wrong crowd.
Oh, I know, but I mean just in general.
Oh, so look, some people are going to know about you. Once you start running in groups that aren't cults and exclusive domains of mad scientists, some people will get to know you better.
Okay.
With the Deep Gnome, maybe?
Well...
Okay. I'm a former slave that has been ripped apart and used as an example to other slaves to not disobey. I think that's infamous down there than I am anything else.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, people who that happens to in the Underdark, that's a lot of people. That's a long list.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Drow aren't known for their patience. Like, it's just,
They very much are. There's a reason Richard is covered in scars.
yeah. All right, so what do you want to say to Melissa?
I kind of just want to chat generally, get to know her a bit.
Okay. She goes on and on about the ale, and she's like, okay, it's strong, and there's definitely some strong flavors, but there's no subtlety to it, and the effort's there and it's potential, but you really got to mix it. See, I've got some spices, and there's a lot that can be done with this. Maybe wild brow? No. Okay, no, there's just like, okay. So she just
and Richard is just going to very patiently listen.
she talks about ale at length for long periods of time.
Richard begins to regret his decision, but still thinks about the entirety of it.
All right. All right, but the bulk of what she talks about, she seems to avoid the subjects of her past and her family. Doesn't seem to be something she wants to talk about. She primarily just talks about brewing and the importance of good flavor in ale, and it just can't be to get you drunk. It has to be tasty too.
Richard is nodding along and agreeing and doing his best not to push.
Okay. All right. Kithri, is there anyone else you want to speak with, or are you just going to keep, tea leaf flattened? Like tea leaf? Anybody?
Yeah, just keep doing that.
You get a small group of interested fans that, at the very least, you're not positive that they know what you're talking about, but they seem to like the enthusiasm in which you say it.
I'll share some stories about my grandfather. Then retire.
All right, you have a captive audience in a group of goblins and kobolds. All right, so your revelries continue into the night until morning, and Guy limps to rejoin the group.
Rough night.
In the best possible way. Eh? You ever heard the phrase, that one's gonna leave a mark? Yeah, that one's gonna leave a mark.
I'm just gonna turn to Handy because now this is my newest side. I'm just gonna be like, he's always like this, I swear.
Handy gives you one of these. Handy's going to be a completely different character. The other campaign is Yeeby. You guys have Handy. Okay.
Handy.
Imagine Handy's going to be useful for something, but
look, it's
nothing yet.
This is going to be ongoing. All right. So, does anybody else have anything else they want to do?
Are we we got together for the morning and we're just like packing up in general?
Yeah, you're just packing up and getting ready to go.
I guess I'm going to ask kobolds can speak common, correct? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, these ones can.
I'm just going to ask them, where are y'all headed? Are y'all going to stay here? Are you looking for a place to stay?
Ogbok says they've decided to join the Manslayer clan, but I got a good feeling about this. Wormspit's got me on the intake program.
Oh, okay.
So if I play my cards right, I might be able to come live with you guys.
Please do. We would love to have you and your entire clan.
Well, I mean, I gotta complete the program. Wormspit was very firm about it.
Of course. I have all faith in you.
9 days? Up to 9 days now?
9 days. I'm gonna get my 12-day token. Hey, and when I do, you guys can have it.
Oh.
We will speak well of you the next time we see Wormspit. Eh? You did a good job. Eh?
Oh, thanks a lot. And thanks a lot for saving my clansmen.
Of course, anytime. That is what the Avalon Knights Academy is for.
All right.
Well, the Avalon Knights Academy, the Avalon Knights Arcane Association.
Yeah. We're a subsect,
Well, it was a great pleasure meeting you all. And the official Manslayer salute. Slayers, get manslaying!
I'm just gonna do it.
That's very good. I will remember that. Don't do it. And
Sorry, I should probably work on that. Make it nicer.
No, it's a thing.
I'm about it. I do it with full vigor. I'm
You're just like, yeah.
manslayer. Now that I know it's not me getting slain, I'm like,
Yeah. Whatever. Slay other men. All right.
so, Richard, how many of the gargoyle can I put the lipstick on?
3.
Okay, you got the favorite. You don't want it done too?
Yeah, Michael and I have really bonded last night.
It just kind of remains perfectly
Okay.
stationary on the cart as you scritch it.
He's a great listener.
So I don't put lipstick on the one that's got splinters. I understand. Now, Bisley, before we get going, so I can do a slightly better job, we're not in a bouncing carriage.
Yeah.
We'll very carefully put lipstick on 3 of the 4 gargoyles.
Excellent. Do you use the same style on each one, or does one get a different style and another gets
They're all different, but they're all much better done than the troll.
excellent?
Yeah.
All right. So the cart is even more
Probably get
garishly decorated now.
Yeah.
And you do notice as he's putting lipstick on the gargoyle, so that now that they've gone to a resting position, the rods have produced back out of the backs of their necks.
Boink! I take the one out of the one that I flew.
I guess we each
You
take
guys, the rod, they come out, eh? And no, that's not a euphemism.
one. I guess I'm going to pull a rod for myself as well. Out of
All right.
I'll
anyone
take
but
one.
Michael.
I'm taking the one from Michael. You stay away from Michael.
I don't. It's okay.
You're the only one who understands me.
Oh, just a side note, I'm just gonna say to Ogbok as we're packing, I'm gonna be like, I have heard slay used in some circles as like a positive, empowering term. So like, you could just be like, yes, slayers slay, and like people might take that a little bit better.
I love the trip home. He's just trying to sell it. Like, he's like, it's a good motto. Like,
It's still good. You just got to work on taking the man out of it. You can slay all you want as long as it's not, specific people. Then it's, that's
It's all about the spin, how you spin it.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
I mean, if you say Ogbark, man, slayer of things.
Everything is a thing.
Exactly.
Rather
No,
ambiguous.
I don't want to interrupt, but maybe we should go, eh?
The cart has begun moving as these discussions unfold. I imagine people load up into it. Melissa takes a seat inside the cart with Guy, and everybody else I imagine assumes their regular positions.
I think I'm going to have to sit inside the cart this time.
There's still
There's
room on.
too much room. But everything is kind of blocked off from.
Well, if
You
you're
have
on the
people
top of the
behind
cart, four gargoyles are staring at you with
Yeah, I'm gonna
cold,
sit inside.
emotionless stone eyes.
Yeah, you can only take it from Michael.
Okay, he's just like, I'll be back. Goes back inside.
Michael, stay.
Is Whistle Whip in as well in the cart?
No, he has stayed back. He said he'll catch up with you guys later.
Oh, okay. I guess
He's got some business to take care of.
I guess I'll be at the reins again then. We never ate our burritos.
No, you certainly could now. You've got a bit of a trip home yet.
I'll eat one just because I'm probably hungry.
All right.
Same here. And how much health have we regained since a long rest?
You had a long rest. You've regained your health. You guys had a nice, restful night in your goblin camp.
Okay. I just
So you
wanted
guys are
to
good.
All right.
down.
What are you guys talking about?
What? I feel like I missed something important while I was writing notes.
You just haven't.
I didn't get hit.
Nobody got it. Yeah, like just,
Oh.
either you just like released people and went on an adventure with Melissa while you guys fought the doctor. Like she did her thing.
Yeah. And we were smart about how we fought the doctor. We got him to get out of his suit.
Yeah, no, that was clever. There was a lot of really great moments of the doctor fight. All right, so
Tactics, I say to them in the back.
the ride back is kind of quiet. Oh, what do you? Sorry, Guy, go ahead.
I want to, as we get rolling, I want to talk to Melissa for just a couple minutes. I
Sure.
say to her, your brother, he said your family was, I don't want to use the wrong word, but was sort of looked down upon for a while. He don't tell, I don't think, the whole story. Maybe he's too young, he don't know it. What really happened?
He was young when the things that happened to our parents happened. When you're a demon that goes against humankind to marry a mortal woman, that family doesn't have a place where they're accepted anywhere.
Not above nor below, eh?
Yeah. And our father tried his best to give us a life somewhere. But
Well, I'll tell you what, your father, he raised too hell of a kid, eh? Your brother came and got us to come and get you. He's a hero, you know? And you stayed alive in that place. That make you a hero too.
yeah,
We collect heroes at the academy, eh? You should come.
I'll see if William likes it. And if he wants to stay, maybe we'll stay.
I can tell you already, he'd love it, eh?
Maybe. He's a sweet boy.
He's a good kid, eh? I think both of you are. You don't worry, we get you together soon, eh?
Thank you. Thank you, all of you. You've been more help than I could ever imagined. I thought I'd be trapped in that place forever.
I'd look at the other three and say, you know what? That's, I never would have guessed this, but that's kind of what we do, eh?
We're always
Guys,
happy
they
to
are
lend a
heroes.
hand.
Yeah, these guys, they are heroes, eh?
Yeah, you guys really are. You toppled a whole laboratory full of mad scientists.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, eh?
Was an
That's
interesting
what we call
day.
it Tuesday.
More like a Monday, but
And then I got to go make sure the gargoyles are still pretty, and I crawl out the back,
All right.
head up on the roof, and make big pretense of fixing makeup that doesn't need to be fixed.
She kind of relaxes, and the rest of the trip goes fairly uneventfully.
I'm
As you
gonna.
guys, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, just one thing. It's just going to be your brother. He's a good kid.
He really is. How did you guys find him?
It's a story. I think he'd like to tell you it.
All right. Can't wait to see him again.
at that I'm gonna urge the horses a little more, just be like, yeah. Just,
All right. You guys pull up to the keep. And in the dawn's light, there is a kind of somber feeling that washes over the place. It's not as bright as it was when you left. William runs out to the cart. And he says, you're back, you're back. And Melissa comes out of the cart and hugs him tight. And he's, Melissa, you're alive. Of course I'm alive. Your friends saved me. They have this tearful reunion, and William's really happy. And then he gets kind of quiet for a minute, and he's like, Cookie had to go.
What the hell happened here?
And he says it to you guys. He says, the other team, they came back. And I don't know what happened. They had to send me out of the rooms, but Cookie got really upset in the night. And then he went in the tower. And he came back and he was all bloody and he had this black orb. And then he and Calazar said they had to go take care of something. They tried to get him to stay, but he said he had to go. He said if he stayed, everyone else would get hurt.
Where did they go?
He didn't say. He said he had to take care of it. He said there was someone really bad trapped inside that orb and they were getting loose. Some black smoky guy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Don't like sending old men to fight my fight for me, eh?
Yeah, that's not. I'm already off the cart and pushing my way in just to go find somebody else to talk to about this that might know where they are.
Guys, go inside Cookie's Crab Shack. And inside Cookie's Crab Shack, the Mercs of Mischief are sitting around a table. And on the center of that table is a brightly colored pastel egg. And a shell has fallen off the back of it to reveal a bright white cottontail. And we will end the session there.
Yes. Oh,
Well
awesome. Thank everybody. That was awesome.
The Warlocks finally meet the Mercs of Mischief. Did anyone really become the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air after all? I mean, it's hard to say.
I mean, I was always the Fresh Prince. That was
Probably Richard Bursley, but we'll find out what happens. Will they catch all of the Pokemon, or just like the 12 they have so far?
That's not what it is.
Oh, I love it.
So next week will be the special Easter campaign that I've run once, and it was very successful, and I'm really excited to do it again with a new group. It's called Horde of the Deep Hair.
Are we going to be running as an 8-stack, or are we running?
We are going to run on our same schedule,
Okay.
but each team will take on a different part of it.
Okay.
So I'll give you guys the introduction at the start of each show,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll proceed on our diverging paths.
Excellent.
But each team will have the same introduction, so I apologize if you guys watched the first show and then you get it twice. But
It's 24 hours at my age. I won't remember it.
but each one of you will have a different springtime subordinate who will take care of your a springtime avatar that will lead your mission.
Ooh.
Mine better not be a bright pink, beautiful flower.
No, it won't be your team. I've already picked out your team's guy, and
Oh, it's a
gonna
team's guy. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, it won't be. It's not individual.
I thought
You'll have a team mission suited to your particular skill set.
Ooh.
All I'm saying is I got a couple of killer rabbit jokes all waiting to go.
Oh, excellent.
Python references.
And I had so much fun running this last time, and somebody got super attached to my springtime avatar. But to be fair, he was adorable. Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to catch more Pokemon, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Look, there's no Pokemon in this. All right. This is.
I like it that
I choose you.
the Mercs are bringing in cash, and we're bringing in cash streams.
Yeah, you guys are bringing in stuff. Like you,
Yeah, and
just hit
people-
like weird shit.
We got alchemists now. We got
We're bringing in connections and alliances. All right, we're bringing in powerful alliances in the world.
To be fair, we've brought in a number of people because we have an alchemist now, and as soon as I get a chance to talk to Wormspit and Melissa, I'm gonna get them to try to arrange to go get the equipment from the old brewery if she's okay with it, so that we can maybe save on the cost for that.
There may be some cost savings there.
Hey, well, we got a blacksmith coming to help make the rest of it.
Look, you're both perfectly good teams. You contribute great things.
You're
And-
both pretty.
And which team is going to take on the search for Cookie when that inevitably happens?
I think that will be time for a crossover episode.
That might be time for the crossover episodes. We'll see
feel
what
like-
happens.
I don't
Because
know.
we're all gonna want to.
We all seem pretty attached to Cookie as well. So,
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like Gee
wait.
is going to fight for it like no one's business.
Oh yeah.
y'all officially
I like Cookie.
choose a team name last one round, or is that
We
still?
were the Avalon Knights Arcanic Association, or we
Yes.
said AKA Square.
AKA
Yeah.
Squared.
Arcane
AKA
Squad.
I guess technically the last A should be in brackets.
Yeah, it'd be AK brackets A squared.
Yeah.
There we go. So we'll structure it like that.
Because it's got to have math because we're smarties.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
We're warlocks. They're famous for their higher mathematical functioning.
Absolutely.
I have a hand. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, you can count to 15 without taking off your pants. That's excellent.
Yeah. We haven't even seen Whisper yet, my familiar, and they haven't seen your
Twitch
familiar either.
Twitch
So
hasn't arrived yet either.
They haven't seen Twitch and Whisper. I've got to set up better scenarios for you guys to use.
I
Twitch
just
and
need all
Whisper.
we need now is a brazier. We've both got the stuff.
yeah,
But
we.
Yeah,
just half an hour or an hour, 10 minutes, and a brazier.
Well,
Yeah.
you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, is Calazar would have got you the brazier before he left.
Because
Perfect.
we paid him. We said.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
pay him up front for it. He's a
Oh.
stand-up guy. Come on.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see all that.
Projects.
Oh yes. Who's got what going on right now?
Who's got a video out this week or last week, rather, or coming up this week?
We've got 2 new videos coming out this week. One tomorrow and one on Thursday. Tomorrow's a painting video.
Ooh, painting.
Nice.
I am still playing Slime Rancher. I have an episode that just was posted either yesterday or the day before, and I'll have another one posted in a couple of days. And I'm considering playing Risk of Rain 2. So see if that comes out soon.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, I got part 3 will be out this week, and then I've the plan for the next one is staying in the same theme is interesting backstories.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Very nice. Very nice.
The only thing I have going
I'll
on
write
is
a
a lot of
backstory.
writing.
What's that?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Remember, if you haven't followed yet, please, hit that button so you can make sure to keep up on when we're doing stuff. We're going to start doing
And check the Facebook page and the Discord down below to keep up on what we're doing.
yeah,
and
check
the
it
And
out.
get all the latest content from all these fine people all in one place.
Right? You know what everybody's doing.
Absolutely.
We will catch you all next time. Thank you for
Yes. See you on Wednesday when we get to see if the Screaming Eagles are slowly conquered by Germany.
It's so bad, you guys. I didn't do nothing to Germany.
Oh, yeah, but you don't have to. It's not necessary.
Whatever. Gandhi will save me. It's going to be
Yeah.
fine. It's going to be fine this Wednesday.
No, see, Gandhi, I'll pay Gandhi to not save you. It'll be fine. Anyways,
You don't have. There is not enough. gold
class
in the world.
dismissed. Run the card.
There is not enough gold in the world to slake Gandhi's bloodlust.
I said class dismissed.